This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in the last 2 3 days, we are discussing about this customer exits, and as part of that, we have seen function exits and what screen exits. Function exits, they are used for imposing additional validations, and screen exits for plugging what customer specific fields in the standard SAP transactions. And the purpose of that customer specific fields is to capture additional data related to what customers. And we also understood that most of the screen exits will be associated with the two function exits. One is PBO function exit, another is PAI function exit. We implement a PBO function exit to associate default values for the customer specific fields, and the PAI function exits we implement to capture the data entered by the user in the runtime in the customer specific fields. Okay. Now, in continuation to that, let us discuss about menu exits. Okay, menu exits. So this menu exits. One second, please. Yeah. So this menu exits. They are used for what? Uh, they are used for plugging additional what menu items. Okay, menu exits are used for plugging additional menu items to the what standard SAP menus. Okay, they are used for plugging additional menu items to the standard SAP menus. Okay, for example, assume that this is a standard SAP screen. We have some menus here: file, edit, format, view, all those things. There are what nothing but menus. So as part of this menus, we have what menu items. These are called as what menu items. So if I click on this menu items, what happens? Some action will be performed. Similarly, in the standard SAP screens also, you will have what some standard menus. Okay, as part of that standard menus, we should able to plug what additional additional menu items. And one important point is we cannot plug the additional menu items wherever we want. Okay, suppose in a transaction we have some 5 menus. Okay, I cannot add the additional menu item wherever I want. We can add it only wherever SAP has provided the plugins. And as I told you earlier, not every transaction is enhanceable. We need to check whether the transaction contains customer exits containing menu exits. If it is having menu exits only, we can associate the what menu items. Okay, and okay, every menu item. So everyone are from ABAP background. We know that every menu item in SAP will be associated with what function code. Every menu item will be associated with function code. Similarly, whatever the menu item that we are going to add, for that menu item also there should be function code. And this function code, it is most of the times the function code will be provided by what SAP itself. Okay, so for this additional menu item, the function code starts with what plus. Understood? For our additional menu item also, there should be a function code, and this function code, it starts with what plus, and will be provided by whom? By SAP itself. As a developer, what you have to do for that particular menu item, you need to provide the menu item text. Menu item text. The function code will be provided by what? SAP itself. What is the purpose of function code in our ABAP? To identify with what element the user has interacted. Suppose in this menu, Okay, we have file, edit, all we are getting the menu items. So if I click on find a menu item, some action will be performed. If I click on replace, some other action will be performed. So function code is used for identifying which menu item was interacted by the user in the runtime. Okay, so let us take one example and we will see whether that particular transaction contains what menu exits. Okay, right. So I'm just taking the transactions which I worked earlier. Okay, so don't worry about the purpose of the transaction. Okay, any transaction, the approach should be what same. So here we have a transaction code called as MC94, MC94, MC94. So let me run this T code. Okay, so when I run the T code MC94, second. Right. So if I run the T code MC94, we are getting some screen here. Okay, so this transaction MC94 might contain n number of screens. This is my initial screen related to that transaction. So you can see here in this transaction we have what some menus. We have some menus. Okay, so as part of this menus I should able to add what additional menu item, and as I told you I cannot add the menu item wherever I want. So my customer will come to me and he may say that I want the menu item in so and so menu. Understood? So we need to check whether it's possible or not. Okay, if it is possible only we can add it. So as I told you, not every a transaction is enhanceable, and not every menu is what enhanceable. So we need to check at in which menu the additional menu item can be added. So how do you check means that will come only by what analysis and by reading the documentation. So first of all what I have to do, I have to check whether this transaction contains any what menu items or not. So I'll go to what is the approach, one of the approach I'll go to SC84. I'll go to SC84. Sorry. First of all, you have to identify what the main program of the transaction, and then what you have to do for that particular program, we need to get the package name. So as usual, I'll go to what SC93 T code display. I'll go to SC93. Yeah, what is the T code? MC94. MC94 is the transaction code. When I display, yeah. So for this MC94, you can observe here what is a package it is showing MCP2. This is a package related to your transaction code, but we are concerned about the package of what program. So for this T code, the program name is what SAPMM CP6. Let me double click on this. It will be navigated to that particular program, and in that program we need to identify the package name. So I'll choose the menu, go to attribute. So this is the main program. I'll just go to attributes. Yeah, what is the package name? MCP2. So in this case also the package of the T code and the package of the program are what same, MCP2. This is a T code related to MM module. Okay, MCP2. Done. So as part of this package, we need to identify the customer exit. So as usual, I'll go to SC84 Business Repository Information System. I'll go to SC84. Yeah. Under what? Enhancements. Under customer exits. Under enhancements, under customer exits, I'll double click on the enhancements. What is the package name? MCP2 is a package name. Let me execute this. Yeah, when I execute, yeah, again you can see we have what? Many exits. As part of this package, we have many exits. So I need to identify the suitable exit and then check for what? Existence of what? Menu exits. So first you can see here, if I take the first one, what is that? MCP20001. MCP 20001. They gave the short description about user, but as I told you, they are not user exits, they are customer exits. Okay, but they gave the short text about user exit only. Just leave it. User exit to read external data for planning table. So by looking at the short text, I didn't understood anything whether it is relevant for my requirement or not. What is our requirement? As part of one of the standard menu, I should able to plug what additional menu item. So let me take this exit name, go to SMOD, see the components, and then read the documentation. What is the exit name here? MCP20001. So let me go to MCP20001. Right, so I'll go to SMOD T code MCP20001. Okay. So our agenda is what? We require what? Additional menu items. I need to check for what? Menu exits. So what I'll do? I'll go to components. I'll display MCP20001. Yeah, good. You can see here this particular customer exit contains only what? Function exit. What is the purpose of function exit? On the existing fields, if you want to associate some additional validation, we'll go for function exit. And we, in this case, you can see I don't have any menu exits. Here I don't have any information, which means what? Doesn't have any menu exit and doesn't have any screen exit. So this may not be relevant for my requirement because this customer exit doesn't have any menu exit. Am I clear? Done. Let me take the second one. What is the second one? MCP 20003. MCP 20003. Done. I'll go to that. I'll go to SMOD MCP 20003. I'll choose components display. Yeah, you can see it. It contains one function exit and it contains some information here now. In the function codes section we are having some information. So if you are having some information in this area, you have to understand that it contains what? Menu exit. And you can see at the bottom it doesn't have any screen exits. It contains one function exit and some menu exits. Okay, and as I told you, the purpose of menu exits is what? To plug what? Additional menu items. And for that additional menu items also we require what? Function codes. And this function codes most of the time starts with what? Plus symbol. Okay, it starts with what? Plus symbol. So if I go here, where is that? In the SMOD only, you can see it is showing me some function codes here. What are they? CU1, CU2, CU3. I'll put the cursor here. Okay, I'll put the cursor. Let me check how many menu exits are there. I'll put the cursor. I'll click on this what? Scroll down, scroll bottom. Yeah, CU4, CU5, CU6. I'll put the cursor here. I'll click on scroll down. CU7, CU8, CU9. I'll click on this. I don't have any further thing. So what is the meaning? It contains around nine what function code. So which means what? It contains around nine menu exits. So we can add up to what? Nine menu items. Understand? And for those menu items, the function codes are given by what? SAP itself. What is that? CU1, CU2, CU3. Okay, so by looking at the components, I understood that this customer exit is having some nine menu exits. Done. But again, where I can add that menu items, I don't know that. But as per my knowledge and experience, what are the additional menu items that we are going to add? Most of the times, they will be available under extras menu. I repeat once again, most of the menu items, what are the additional menu item that we are going to associate, those menu items are generally added inside a standard menu called as what? Extras. Inside a standard menu called as extras. But still, let me read the documentation. I'll choose the documentation display. Yeah, they gave some documentation here. Yeah, you can observe here. Use this enhancement to define your own function codes in the flexible planning. For this purpose, you must change the status so and so. You must also change the text in what? What menu it says? Extras menu. So by looking at the documentation, it is understood that they are available under which menu here? Extras menu. Make clear? So, so we came to know that this customer exit contains around 9 menu items, and for those menu items the function codes are given by SAP itself. They always start with what? Plus symbol. Our job is, the developer job is to associate the menu item text. Just we need to provide the meaningful menu item text, and when I click on that particular one, some action has to be performed. So where do we write that action? We'll see that. Okay, so before I continue, any questions so far?
Hello, Sridhar.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hello.
Rajesh, tell me.
Hi. So the only question is like when we actually do the upgrade, right? Upgrade or the system new
Hmm.
version comes, how
Okay.
these enhancements will be retained? That's
Yeah.
one of the questions.
Yeah, this is another drawback of customer exits. That's the reason SAP recommends not to go for what customer exit. So when we upgrade it to higher version, whatever the implementation you have done for this customer exits, they will not be upgraded. Again, we have to re-implement them in the new version. But if you take baddies, the baddies are automatically upgraded to what? Higher version. This is another drawback of what customer exits. There are two drawbacks. What is that? Yesterday we have seen one drawback. Customer exit always supports what? A single implementation, whereas baddies can support multiple implementation. Another limitation is in case of customer exits, whatever the implementation we have done, when we upgrade to the higher version, those implementations will not be migrated as it is. Again, we have to re-implement them in the new version. Whereas in case of baddies, the implementations also gets what? Migrated.
Okay. So is there any table or view kind of thing where we can see all the customer enhancement in one shot, which is there in system before
No, no, Rajesh. No. Customer exits are always relevant to what? Transactions. They are relevant to transactions. Okay, so as per my knowledge, we don't have any database table to see the what all the customer is. But in case of baddies, we have views. There is some standard database views where if you query that particular views, it is going to list out all the baddies. But in case of customer exits, as per my knowledge, we don't have any standard database table. We have to check in each and every transaction separately.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Others, any questions? Right. So we understood that we can add up to what 9 menu items in that particular transaction MC94, and from the documentation it is understood that those menu items will be available under what? Extras menu. So first of all, I don't know how to work with this T code. As a ABAP consultant, I'm very new to this particular transaction code. So I need to take the help of what? Functional consultant to understand how the T code works, or to understand how to navigate within the screens of that particular transaction. So first let me go to MC94. So why I'm going to MC94 is I want to check where that extras menus is available. So this is before implementation. So I'll go to MC94, MC94. Yeah, planning type it is asking. Okay, first of all you can see, do we have any extras menu here? In the documentation, it is saying that the additional menu items will be available under extras. So do we have extras menu here? We don't have. So what is the meaning? This is not the appropriate screen where I can see the or where I can add the additional menu items. How can you say that? Because I don't have any extras menu here. So might be I need to navigate to what the next screens in order to get that particular appropriate screen. So here I need to provide what planning type. So just you need to browse and you need to select an entry. So what exactly this planning type? Don't get into that kind of what understanding. So our job is not to understand this key code. Our job is only to navigate between the screens of this particular transaction. We should know how to work with this T code. Okay, right. So here it is giving, asking me the planning type. So just browse and choose one entry. So when I put space bar here, yeah, I'm getting some value commit. So when you're practicing in a laptop also, for testing purpose, you give the planning type as what commit. I got this commit from this what F4, right? So provide some commit. I don't have any other buttons to click here. So I'll press what enter. Okay, I'll press enter. I got the next screen in that particular transaction. Do we have any extras menu here? Here also I don't have any extras menu. So again, this might not be the appropriate screen. Further, I need to navigate okay to the other screens. So here we have some buttons here: active version, inactive version. We don't know about the functionality of these buttons. Let me just click on this button active version. When I click on this button active version, let's see what I'll get. I got a report kind of thing. Yeah, good. You can see here in this particular screen we have what extras menu. We have the extras menu. So what is the understanding? This is the screen where I can associate the additional menu items. So I'll choose extras menu here. Yeah, you can see already in this extras menu we have some standard menu items: copy data, transfer, Microsoft Excel, long text, plan version, something are there. We can see here, you can observe here, there is a menu item called as customer functions. It is disabled as of now. It is not enabled, it is disabled. Might be when I associate the menu items, this when I associate my additional menu item, this menu item would be enabled. I don't know that. Okay, but as of now, I'm able to see around what five menu items, six menu items in which the customer function is disabled. Done.